Welcome into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I am Scott Beason, and I appreciate you listening. I appreciate Big Sky Mountain Mosley running the program while I was managing to make sure my teeth are clean and beautiful and shiny and bright.
That's what you were doing. Okay.
Yeah. As they scrape off the, what is that stuff called? Calculus?
Plaque. It's plaque. Yeah.
They scrape it off the bottom, your bottom front teeth. Is that where everybody gets it, or is it just me?
No,
and
I
like
think it's
scraping right there.
everybody.
I try to brush that stuff off, but they're like, "Oh, your teeth are so clean." Well, that's wonderful.
Oh, you got a good report.
I get good reports from the dentist
right.
usually, so it is all good. I heard what y'all were talking about with some
I
some
thought we'd do
issues.
some Montgomery talk today because it's in the news. 1819 had a great article about refusal to disclose information about the Violence Prevention Office. Yes, even though we do know they paid over $250,000 in overtime.
Did they really?
In the past 4? Yeah, it's crazy.
I have to figure out how to get these blue dot cities to pay me to consult. You know what I'm saying? Like, you and I, we can make the Violence Prevention Commission and Corporation.
And all around feel good vibes.
Oh yeah. We'll love everybody. We'll talk about being sweet. Look, I can give you a bunch of the leftist talking points, and I just need somebody to front it, so that I can make money from the backside.
You get a kick out of this. Here's the description of the Office of Violence Prevention. Offers a comprehensive approach to community safety challenges, including all programs and collaborative efforts, fostering safe, resilient communities.
That's what I want. I mean, Sky, are you against the safe, resilient community?
No, but I know a line of bull when I hear it. Okay. Pulling up
I can't
boogie
believe they
woogie.
didn't put unity and sustainability in there. Those are words you have to
Well,
put.
that's where I cut it off. I just
It gets
couldn't take
it gets more and more and more. I thought the Office of what is it, against community violence?
Office of Violence Prevention.
Violence prevention. I thought we used to call those police forces.
Well, we can't fill the police force because we have $250,000 in overtime going out to the,
The
community
violence
strategies and
God.
collaboration and
Yeah, I did hear the one part where was it Skipper?
Yes, Skipper. He's
Didn't agree with it being malfeasance because that's the intentional
right.
wrongful doing.
I thought it was
is
time to throw the word
malfeasance.
out.
Yeah.
It's time to start thinking about it.
But I believe that some of these cities, I'm not accusing Montgomery of anything, but they crossed the line of just plain old negligence a while back. So if there's a spectrum, that's another word they need to put there. The spectrum, the violence spectrum. They're leaning way towards the malfeasance because if you know it's going to happen and you continue to foster an environment that allows it to happen, that's intentional.
I agree.
If
That's
you
why
let
I'm bringing it out.
don't mow your grass on purpose, you can't say, "Well, it wasn't my intention for the grass to get high." Yes, it was.
Unintended consequences.
You knew the grass was going to get high. That's why you didn't cut it. The police are the lawnmowers. If you don't have a lawnmower, the grass gets high. And you can't say, "Oh, well, Scott was just negligent with his grass." No, he purposefully didn't cut the grass. Right?
That's where we're at.
So, I mean, I
where
can't
we're at.
spell malfeasance, but I know it's on purpose.
it's a true word. It just gets worse and worse. And meanwhile, the mayor is out having another adventure in California.
Of course he is.
I saw he had a nice
Well,
photo.
look, you
op
have
with,
to
with,
go to
Gavin
California
Newsom.
to learn how to destroy beautiful places.
Thank you. And he's learning from the best. Governor or Gavin Newsom. They had their picture photo op just the other day. Oh, and one more before we have to. I ran a little long, so we got to take a break, and then we'll get to calls.
Soldier
you'll
boy,
be,
good.
You will be happy. Well, probably happy. Montgomery has now passed Birmingham in homicides for the year after the violent weekend.
See,
We're number 2.
I want to say, that makes me feel safer. But
Somehow,
just because you eclipse the incredible numbers that we produce, does not make it any safer here. But that's the way the left looks at it. We're like, hey, we're one of the safer cities in the state.
Right, exactly. And that's probably what we'll be hearing. You could report on that out of Birmingham next week.
Absolutely.
We dropped to number 3.
Well, let's take another break, and we'll get to your phone calls right after this. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovery.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. So real quick, the spectrum, just for our very educated folks. There is a feasance spectrum,
Okay.
just as we kind of hinted at, but I can't say I knew it beforehand. But there are different levels.
Okay.
Non-feasance, which I'm saying is the child, failing to perform a duty that you were obligated to carry out. I would argue that is at least where the city of Montgomery is.
We're on the board.
Non-feasance.
We have that.
Then non-feasance's mom is misfeasance,
I dated her.
performing a lawful or proper act in an improper, careless, or negligent way. She tried, but she just didn't. She just didn't work. Didn't know all the rules on how to get it done. So you try to do right, but you didn't do it right.
Kind of
And then her
incompetence.
husband
That would be incompetence, right? More or less.
Well, just not knowing,
Okay.
or being careless.
Okay, gotcha.
And then her husband Mel, which I'm playing on the words, is malfeasance, performing an act that is completely wrongful or unlawful.
Deliberate.
Just deliberately doing it completely wrong. So that's where we are. Let's go out to Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, welcome to the program.
I'm calling in for the Big Sky Mosley show.
Yes, well, there's Big Sky Mosley. He's welcome and ready because I got to get some more coffee anyway.
It came and went. Okay. Morning.
And go floss those teeth a little bit more, Scott.
Look, Ma, no cavities. Okay.
Hey, Sky,
Yes.
I'm gonna give you some information that I've heard. Okay, it's hearsay. Okay,
Okay.
I have a friend of mine that works in the police department. Do you know how many officers they have officially, not including staff support, detectives and stuff, that are actually available to be on patrol?
I have heard under 200. That's my
That is
best,
correct.
my best guess.
God, you're very good. 183, I heard.
Okay. And we are budgeted for
Okay.
400, I believe.
500.
Yeah, 500.
500.
That is sad.
Yeah.
That's
And
misfeasance.
another thing is, when I used to work for the city, okay, and I worked closely with the MPD, okay, in the department I worked in, okay, IT department, okay? And they used to have a traffic division, okay? There was a major in there. I forgot, Major McQueen, I think his name was. He's retired. But he was in charge of the traffic division. If you look now and check into it, Sky, there is no longer a traffic division.
I believe that.
Now you wonder why you have no more or longer a traffic division. Now, I don't understand that, okay? So with that being said, let's go to the next thing is, okay, the issue with the mayor. You never notice that Democratic mayors always grow government. They create departments. There's a department called the Cultural Department. I couldn't believe that one, okay? And then they have this, was it crime prevention? What is that?
Office of Violence Prevention.
Okay. I noticed one thing. I saw a photograph of the whole entire staff there, and I thought Democrats believe in equity, inclusion, for everybody. But
Diversity.
I didn't see anybody in that picture that looked like me. I didn't see anybody that looked like me, those guys.
Somehow I'm not surprised. I also checked into it before the show.
Oh, well, I thought everybody was into this equity and inclusion and equality.
Not so much.
It's a weapon, but they want, huh?
Not so much.
Well, they don't want to abide by it, but they want everybody else to abide. Rules for me, not for thee. That's their attitude. Okay? Yeah. And the next thing is that shooting that took place, right?
At the raceway.
A friend of mine happened to be a raceway. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine just happened to be there at the gas station with his son, okay?
Oh.
And and they were just about turning into the gas station when the shooting started happening, and he saw people running. People had swimsuits on and bathing suits on, boys and the girls there, okay, started running, and people running with guns they saw. This was over the internet, over Facebook and other things that had pictures and videos and stuff like that, okay?
I wondered why the swimsuits, but...
Why did they have swimsuits? Well, I found out for a friend of mine who works for MPD, says that they had broken up earlier an unauthorized gathering at a pool party place. He didn't say where or how many people were there. He just said it was unauthorized, and he broke the pool party up, and they all left.
There it is.
So evidently they all congregated together and communicated together through internet purposes and media and gathered there at the gas station.
And
that's why they were all in swimsuits.
Yeah.
That's why they had swimsuits on. So that makes, because you see 20, 30 people running with bathing suits on, he freaked out. He's like, what the hell's going on? They were running right in front of him because he was on the Eastern Bypass right across from the raceway, going towards, say, Sam's, okay?
Right.
When he heard the shooting, he just stopped his car right there and shut it down and got him and his children down, okay? And then he saw kids running by with swimsuits and everything. Here's my question to the mayor, too, okay? Why isn't the mayor not coming out here in the police chief, quote unquote, said several times at these council meetings, which I've attended, that violent crime is down. Well, last time I looked, shooting and killing people and people dying and getting injured is a violent crime, is it not, Scott?
It is all day long. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
So, okay, then I noticed one thing too. I guarantee it, the mayor has gone a couple times on to Joey Clark's show. Has come on a couple times. I guarantee you, I'll put money on it, Sky. If you want to lose some money, I'll even give you 2-to-1 odds. He will never come back on Blue Water Show again.
I will not take that bet. I'm in complete agreement. I don't think Reed will be back.
Mayor, you are a public servant, quote unquote. Am I correct?
He is a public servant. That's the design, anyway.
Does he not have to answer to the people, for the people, by the people?
That's his job.
Okay. Now, at least I got to say one thing about what was it?
Well, make it quick. We're coming up on the top of the hour. We've got about 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Can you hang me over? I got some more stuff.
Scott?
This is y'all.
Okay. All right.
It's up to y'all.
Well,
keep flossing, Scott.
I know. Y'all are having an interesting discussion.
We'll
be back.
Let's take it out.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politician.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. Starting off the second half of the program here on Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Let's get back out to your phone calls. Soldier Boy wanted to have the last word. Soldier Boy, welcome back in.
Thank you for allowing me to speak on the big Rocky Top Mountain Sky Show.
You got it, brother. Absolutely.
Okay, here's the next thing. My question is: you ever notice one thing about socialists? They don't want to send a police officer to. They want to send a social worker. That they create jobs and create these departments and everything that actually do nothing for the community. They always grow government. Do you ever notice that? That's one thing blue states always do.
Yeah, we're loaded up with administration and community outreach and violence prevention, but we have no police officers on the street.
Okay, who do I need to talk to my city council, or do we have to call our city councilmen, men and women, out about this incident, about not releasing that information? Who's going to be held accountable? Who's responsible? What's the next step, Sky?
That's a great question. That really is. That's what I'm doing today, is gathering information, gathering public opinion, and let's take that and go for coming up with a solution.
Can we take legal action? Can we take legal action and at a state level, go above the city? It's a state law, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Whose job is to enforce state laws?
That would be the Attorney General of the state of Alabama.
Okay, then why isn't he enforcing this then?
That's a great question. That's what we need to move on to.
Are y'all? Since I wasn't here at the start of the show, are y'all talking about the open records request?
Yes, for the Office of Violence Prevention.
Well, somebody will have to, will have to let the Attorney General's office know that the request was made and that they haven't abided by the law or complied with the law, and then that'll go back and forth a little bit. But I would probably say it's probably 1819 News' responsibility to inform the Attorney General's office that there has been a violation.
Okay, that's where we.
And
That's
then
where
they
we're
will
at.
call them and they say, hey, what's the deal with the violation? And then they'll say, oh, we were getting to it and that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
But the
Very
interesting
good.
thing is he's got the email that says, quote unquote, he was told by higher up not to release it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what the proper, how it will have to work. Because they're not going to just go in there and say, "Hey, we saw an article over on 1819 News. We're here to bust you." That's not going to be how it works.
No, got to go through
No,
proper
then
procedures.
1819 to take their 1819 editor needs to take that email over and his request for the Freedom of Information Act release and go to Attorney General of the state of Alabama. Correct?
That's
I
the
would
next
think
step.
that is the proper way. Yeah, and then the Attorney General's office will probably say, "Hey, you got to give us a form or give us something in writing or give us whatever to show exactly what your claim is," and then it'll probably
Let me ask you a
start from
question.
there.
Should there be any counsel or a pushback against city council members, since there are representatives and we're their constituents?
Yeah, I think you should let your city council member know, hey, look, why are y'all not open with the information? I tell you what you might find out. I don't know what the punishment is for not complying with the state Open Records Act request. You might be shocked and find out there may not be a punishment.
Oh, my God.
Because
that's-
but here's why. I mean, there was a time. Okay, I'll give you the story. So on some of the gun legislation that I had years ago, Soldier Boy, I wanted punishment for municipalities not complying with the law. And I got tremendous pushback. Oh, well, if you pass a law, they're going to do it. These are governmental agencies. These are bureaucrats. These are elected officials. They're going to comply with the law because they're good. They're good Americans. They're good Alabamians. And we didn't put punishment in there. And lo and behold, there were still cities that weren't complying. So I don't know what the punishment is.
that's like my
There
dad.
might be one, but I don't know what it is.
Like my dad used to tell me, there has to be consequences for your actions or lack of actions. Correct?
Yeah, because people don't have honor anymore. They will literally bow up and say, "What are you going to do to me?" Instead of, "Oh yeah, I'm going to comply with the law."
Scott, then get rid of the law. We're not going to cherry pick what laws we want to enforce and when we want to enforce and who we want to enforce them. If we're going to have a law and pass a law, then we need to enforce the law or get rid of it. Period.
I agree with you.
Okay. Good call,
All right,
Soldier
thanks
Boy.
for taking my call.
Appreciate you.
See, the other thing
Later.
people have to remember is some of these laws are enforced. I mean, look, imagine this. I'm Mayor Scott of Beasonville, okay? And somebody comes along, the ACLU, the SPLC comes along and says, we want to know, we have an open records request from the city, from Beasonville, and we have an email that says Mayor Scott said don't do something, or higher up said don't do something. My guess is Mayor Scott from Beasonville gets the full busted treatment.
Yeah.
What happens if it's the city of Birmingham? What happens if it's the city of Montgomery? You start getting sketchy. Start getting sketchy there.
Yeah, it's a little gray area, I'm afraid.
Because Scott and the people of Beasonville probably aren't going to protest. Mayor Scott's probably not going to chain himself to a fence and say he is being oppressed. You get what I'm saying?
I do. Doing a little research on the Freedom of Information, it's in some cases an agency's delay or failure to respond to a request may be considered a denial that gives you the right to sue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and open records is a little different than the federal FOIA request. So I look, I've never done it, so I don't know what all the details are. But the bottom line is, more and more every day, different levels of government have decided that there are things that they don't have to do, and they'll just stonewall.
Yeah.
Well, what's the skin off their back?
Yeah.
What's going to happen to them?
That's what is really insulting. As Soldier Boy mentioned, the mayor is a public servant.
Mm-hmm.
But
now look, on the same
the
time,
arrogance.
You have to also give a little credit, because there have been liberal groups who have decided they don't like a city because a city has I don't know, they helped with the nativity scene at Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Or the North Carolina flood victims.
And you
Remember
get these leftist groups who will just request every document that's ever been created. And they just have a lawyer, a little pro bono, fueled by Satan lawyer, who's like, I would like to request every document that where Scott talked to Sky. Here's one. I would like to request every document where Scott talked to Joey. Here's another one. I hereby request every document where so-so. And then they just mash the system into oblivion. So sometimes there are safeguards in place in order to stop the activism. So
it works both ways.
I mean, I get it. And so many of these things are used and abused that it causes people to have pushback. But you would think that this one would be fairly easy to.
Well, the mayor doesn't worry about bad publicity, so that's out.
Well, it's not like he can lose.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
What would it take for the mayor of Montgomery to lose an election? I mean, is it even possible?
No, not really.
I mean, it's royalty, right?
It in this city, he is the son of Joe Reed.
Right.
So there's that hierarchy, there's that machine in place. Plus, he doesn't worry about the black vote. He said himself. Remember the quote?
He's got it no matter what.
Yeah. So, and then we have turnout problems.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't see any way that the only way he's going to lose is if he doesn't run.
Yeah, I would think that's probably right. No doubt about it. So y'all got some more folks on topic here. Let's see Simpler Days. Is Simpler Days on topic?
Yes, he is.
He knows about how the city runs.
He's
Simpler
in Montgomery.
Days. Welcome to the program. Simpler Days.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Hey, buddy.
If the mayor got caught and they had black and white of the mayor and his bodyguard together in California, he'd still get elected.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, who was that mayor of Washington, D.C. that was on video smoking crack with hookers in a D.C. hotel room, still reelected?
What was his name? Mayor.
He was
we'll
a
figure it
classic.
out.
He was a character.
Was yeah.
Hey, Scott, I heard that crime was so bad in Beasonville that they stole the crime-free community sign.
they did. They stole all the neighborhood watch signs, that's for sure.
Marion Barry.
Marion Barry, that was him.
Yeah. Who could forget? He was a class. And he just
you know
didn't
what?
care.
The mayor's out in California. Well, the mayor's out in California and probably took his bodyguard with him because he needs 24-hour protection.
Yeah, because everybody in California is like, man, I got to get that mayor of Montgomery.
I want his autograph.
We know exactly who he is.
Exactly.
He's a rock star.
And there's a police officer or two in Montgomery that wants to go to a training. And I've talked to them recently. They come out to the FOP meetings, but they want to go to a training to learn how to get better crime fighting tools, rub elbows with other law enforcement officers in their field. But when they turn their request in to go for training, it is denied because they say they don't have enough officers and they can't relieve them of their duty.
Exactly.
But our mayor can go to California, and it's just so hypocritical of him. But that's what we got.
I have a theory on this, Simpler Days. You've heard of defund the police? I suspect this is a left-handed way of doing just that. We just won't hire any. And we'll make the environment so caustic, so toxic, that no one will want to work. They'll take any other job besides Montgomery, wouldn't you? So, in effect, what you have is misfeasance, Scott Beason.
Yes.
Misfeasance, level 2, of defunding the police.
I was at the National FOP conference in Indianapolis a couple of years ago, and this very topic, and this was when they were in the heat of defunding the police in Austin and other cities, and that was brought up, and they said, look, a mayor, somebody's going to figure out how not to defund but de-police. Mm-hmm. And that's what he's doing. That's what we have. That's exactly what he's doing.
I agree. Appreciate the call, Simpler Days. We got to hit a break. I think we're getting somewhere, Scott.
About got it figured out?
Well, we're getting there. We're in the gathering information point right now where we're going to come up with a solution somehow.
The part that's hard for people to understand is many of these blue dot cities are on their way purposefully. Purposefully would be malfeasance, right?
Right. And then?
On their way to creating third world countries. And it's on purpose. That is what Americans cannot get their heads around.
And that's
I think these folks like third world countries.
Chaos, disorder. Yeah.
Where you can, it's a lot more profitable.
Good point.
We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Back in, everybody. Let's get right back out to your phone calls. Let's go to Charles the First of Dewey. Charles the First, welcome to the program.
Hey, well, thanks for having me on. I'm going to solve a whole lot of this problem right here about Mayor Reed not reporting stuff, okay?
Okay.
Now, yeah, so what's happening here, take notes or anything if you want to go to your city council meetings, is about $8 million comes through the federal government and through the state of Alabama through Ken Boswell's office at DECA.
Okay.
Part of it, and part of it is from the bipartisan Safer Communities Act that Biden did back in 2022 that allocates $225 million to all the cities that qualify. They qualify by maintaining a certain area of violence. Have you got me? If you go down too far, you won't get the money. So it's up to the mayors of each city to keep themselves within this certain framework to get the money.
You
So,
got to
let's say that
have
your
enough
mayor
crime
needs-
to get the extra money because more crime is
yes,
profitable.
You have to keep things balanced. Listen, you can use statistics. If you don't tell your news media or you don't give out statistics, at the end of the year when you've got to report this, you have to report this, all of this money, okay, every bit of it that's coming through to the FBI that has it's a crime. They keep up with crime in these cities to give them the money or not, okay? So you can take your statistics and you can change them to something that lets you keep getting the money. But if you've already told the media, you can't change these statistics. Have you got me?
I got you.
Reporting.
So here's what's happening. That's what's happening. You don't want to have to answer any of that until this certain point of the year where you turn all that in. Now, if enough people go to the city council meetings and they make an issue of this enough, it catches the attention of the FBI who has to keep up with this money, and they can see that they're doing something shady. Have you got me?
Gotcha.
They catch it. I mean, and that's how you do it, and that's why potentially it's been being done. And here's the thing, it's mainly who has the most violence in their cities. Democrat cities are getting this $225 million Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. You can look it up. That money runs out in 2027. So everybody's fighting, and listen, they can break the rules because they won't get the money next time. They haven't got to worry next time. They can fight for it by changing their statistics in this last year. Did you catch that?
Yeah. No, we got you. I agree.
So the Biden administration incentivized crime and violence. The more you have, the bigger the payday you're eligible for. Brilliant.
Yes, and the more you make it look like what the that act that Biden did back in 2022, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the more you make it fulfill the Bernie JAG, remember that one too. Also, though, it's about $8 million that comes through the state. You know, now that federal doesn't, but Kay Ivey with one call could say, if any cities do not reduce crime by 12%, I'm not giving you that money next time.
Right.
That puts an initiative out there to lower, not to maintain, not to keep feeding these mayors more money. So that's how you do it. That's what's going on. Go to your city council meetings. Do something about them not following the Open Records Act. Then bring it to the attention of the FBI. There you go.
There you go. That's brilliant. I think it's too late for Governor Ivey, but I'd certainly like that brought to future Governor Tommy Tuberville's attention.
Yep. Very good.
What Charles described. Let's stop incentivizing crime and violence.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. What's the
Very
orders,
good.
guy?
David from
David,
Millbrook,
welcome in.
formerly of Montgomery. Morning, David.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
You know, there's an old saying. There is profit in confusion.
Uh-huh.
Well, no, that's and that's one of the things I don't think we all think about is when you're turning a city into a third world country, then everything needs emergency money. It needs to have money thrown at it, and you can spend it a lot of different ways with people. I mean, think about it. I don't know what this crime prevention whatever deal is, but you probably don't have to be APO certified to get paid out of it.
I'm guessing you're correct.
So if you can use law enforcement money to pay Scott, that's a deal.
Yeah, the lady that has the most overtime of the $250,000 is a liaison.
Of course, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and you know this, Scott, that the government is like the king of block grants.
Yes.
Of just throwing millions of dollars at something with no accountability whatsoever and no parameters.
Yeah. And half the time they're spending millions of dollars on something they caused.
Right.
I think you're describing exactly what's going on in the capital city right now.
Yeah, and they'll never, and it's just like, the pharmaceutical companies. Do they want something simple like ivermectin to cure COVID-19?
No.
No profit in that.
Yeah. Look at Anthony Fauci. Look how he profited in confusion over the reign of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And, the thing is, too, is I have heard inklings here and there amongst Democrats nationally that, how they throw such a fit when Trump brings in the National Guard into major cities to quell crime. And yet I have heard inklings that basically the Democrat Party is doing this all intentionally in major cities, allowing crime to spiral out of control because their ultimate goal is to have a nationalized police force that will have the federal government will have control, take it away from local municipalities, from sheriffs, only after they get control of the government.
I've heard that
not
as
while
well.
Trump or the Republicans are in control.
Consolidation of power with the police force. Can you imagine?
Yeah, Barack Obama carried us a long way down that road.
State.
Yep. David, I appreciate
down
you, buddy.
that road. Yep, exactly.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
man.
much. A lot of
Good
stuff
call.
to do. Y'all are kind of depressing me now with this, the whole thing.
It is depressing, but
Well, if you
somehow
look at what
we're gonna-
happened in these countries that went full-on crazy nut job socialists, Cuba, et cetera, the very people who started the unrest and made it unsafe, forced citizens to clamor for somebody to do something, were the ones who came to power. They're like, hey, we can stop the violence. Well, no duh. It's your boys that are doing it.
Yeah, create enough chaos, disorder.
That people will beg for it just to have a little bit of peace. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering.
Back into the program, everybody. Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Hey, don't forget 1819 News, the podcast with Brian Dawson. You definitely want to go check that out over at YouTube or at any of the other places where you find your favorite podcast. 1819 News, the podcast with Brian Dawson. Let's get out to your phone calls again. Rocontour, welcome to the program. I hope you're well. Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday to you too, gentlemen.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
hear me?
What's up?
Yes, thank you.
Three topics. Number one, Montgomery Police. Number two, Scott's tardiness. Number three, World Cup update. Number one,
Okay.
Anecdotally, a year ago, lady had her purse snatched in a parking lot. Took 40 minutes for the police to arrive. Meanwhile, she called her husband, who was a former officer with the police department. He's trying to console her, and he's like, "Honey, don't worry. They're going to be all over this. They're going to take care of it." Officer looks at the retired officer and says, "Things have changed since you left, buddy. There's only 5 detectives in the entire department. We're going to do the paperwork, and nothing's going to happen here."
Sad.
And the criminals know that, Rocontour, and that's one of the problems.
Absolutely. Number two, part of that federal funding is probably being diverted to community activist programs. For example, I ran into someone who was starting up an auto body shop for teens to bring them off the streets and teach them a livable skill. And they were getting, I forget how many thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars for this government funding here in Montgomery. Only problem was there was no space to even put in a body shop, and there was no effort being made to do anything. But the new appliances they had ordered looked really nice.
Yeah, it was the Leering Body Shop, I believe.
Yes, the Leering Body Shop.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're getting at was if you can use quote unquote law enforcement or community improvement money in different ways, there's a lot of money to be made.
Exactly. And number three, it's a well-known and established route for young men trying to get into law enforcement that the surrounding areas will not hire them unless they have experience. So that what they do is they go work in Montgomery, risk their life for 6 months, and then jump to a suburban department where they're not riding alone and reporting to a shooting solo where they may get killed in the line of duty.
Right.
And also where they'll have some support, I would
can't
think,
blame
from
them. Right.
city officials.
Exactly. Would you? I mean, if you're short-staffed and you're riding solo, do you want to show up to where somebody's shooting up a gas station
Heck no.
Not.
without any backup?
Well, let's take it the next step since we're going to hack everybody off today. You show up at the gas station without backup. You end up in a firefight. Your life's on the line. If you do win and don't die, you're probably facing some sort of legal action for whatever action you did take. I wouldn't want to work in some of these blue dot cities for anything.
No way.
Exactly. And until the leadership changes and the policy changes, the job's not going to be attractive, and you're not going to recruit anybody.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So point number two, the reason for Scott's tardiness. Scott, I'm going to have to blow the whistle on you.
Uh-oh.
Scott got up this morning and looked at his soccer mirror and said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the biggest soccer fan of all?" And he was still number 2. So he took a couple of hours to try to figure out who number 1 is. Scott, I don't want you to miss any more radio time. I'm going to tell you, it's Chris Richards' mom. She's the number 1 fan in Alabama.
Oh, well, no, that's absolutely true. She probably is the number 1 fan in Alabama, but I'll go for 2 or 3. Chris Richards' mom, Rocontour, then Scott. That's fine.
No,
Pretty good company.
No, you can have the number 2 spot. Just don't be late again, okay?
Okay, yes, sir.
All right. Number 3, World Cup update. Right now, the biggest thing going on talk-wise is Lionel Messi has now become the leading World Cup scorer of all time.
I saw that.
What people aren't talking too much about, though, is there's a young French player, Kylian Mbappe, who's only 2 goals behind him and probably has another 3 World Cup series in his future. So even though Lionel is the king now, I think Mbappe will pass him at some point in the future and push that goal way out.
Yeah.
Mbappe,
that sounds very French.
Yeah, where's he from?
You got it. Nailed it.
Well, yeah. That's kind of information you expect from the number 2 fan.
You nailed it.
Yep, Scott, this is why you're the number 2 fan in Alabama.
You got it.
Go.
Thanks, buddy.
Amen.
Thanks,
Good
man.
deal. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the French team is a fascinating thing. It's
How
just,
so?
I mean, look,
Argentine.
France is not one of those places that you're known for, quote, the melting pot and for bringing everyone around the world. And people are like, oh, I just want to move to France.
Things have changed, I understand, demographically.
Big time.
Yes.
Big time. Just put it this way. The French will be doing better in the Summer Olympics as well.
Oh, you think?
Oh, absolutely.
In that regard, saw one the other day. You know, a lot of new fans for the World Cup for soccer in the United States, and one of those complainers, was on, I believe it was Twitter, saying that they needed more black players on the Venezuelan team.
No
And
way.
Yes, well, you know it's true, man.
On the
And
Venezuelan team?
Yeah, and the response was, Venezuela is a country, not a Disney movie. I enjoyed that immensely.
Oh, it's just crazy. Just let things be and quit trying to, always fix it.
It's a country. They have to. That's who they have in their.
That's who they have.
To draw from.
Do y'all get the feeling that the Olympics and everything is kind of bending the rules a little bit too much?
Just a bit.
Your great grandma was from Germany, so you can go and compete for Germany. And I mean, I thought there were some kind of rules.
There used to be. I remember right when we had the Dream Team in basketball.
Yes.
You remember this? Russia used to pretty much clean up on us in the Olympics. And so finally they decided that these superstar professional athletes.
They would let the pros play, yeah.
Yeah, which, they disbarred. They took back Jim Thorpe's medals because he made like $3.50 in a pickup baseball game.
Yeah.
He had to give back but amateur status, that's the time for them to shine.
Right.
Not
right.
Michael Jordan and Bill Laimbeer and Larry Bird. So once we sold out there.
Yeah. But on the other hand, I also see that the Olympics come every 4 years. And if you're born in the wrong year,
you miss out.
You get to sit around and be a, quote, amateur for 3 or 4, 5 years.
Yeah, you could get a bad cycle there.
Yeah, you get a bad cycle. That's what happens.
Still.
So.
It seems kind of selfish. I know we want to win and everything, but at what cost? It was the beginning of integrity doesn't matter anymore, I thought.
You thought that was the beginning?
Well, in many ways.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing.
We sold
the
out.
Russians were paying their athletes.
That's right.
Or
but
the Soviets were, not the Russians.
Just because everybody else does it doesn't make it the right thing to do.
That's true.
So I felt like that was kind of a line of demarcation in all this. I look back to that.
That time?
But, yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't that why the hockey team, I mean, look, it was the college boys.
Yes.
And that's why it was a miracle.
And they did win, even against those stacked odds at professional Soviet team and the others.
Yeah.
And they beat them fair and square.
Yeah.
With what we had. And it made it all the better. If they had
played them 10 times, they'd have won. They'd have won once.
But they did.
They did win one
time.
time, and it would never happen again. So,
and
if everybody look, I get it. You got to play on a somewhat even field. Yeah. But look at how the world's come along, though. Our pros aren't winning by as much as they used to.
True.
The rest of the world's getting better. Of course, the rest of the world's playing their pros that play in our NBA.
Have you seen those guys in the European basketball?
Ooh, they're tough. They are tough. We got to take a break. I'm not supposed to say who's up next, but we'll get to the phones after this. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Everybody, let's get out to your phone calls. Don't forget the number here, 1-800-289-9228, 1-800-289-9228. And those of you who are asking, yes, the YouTube stream is up, and it should be working. It looks like on my end it's working, so hopefully it's working for y'all. Let's go to Red Top. Red Top, welcome to the program. Happy Tuesday to you.
Good morning. And I want to report to you an incident. I go to G&S Donuts, and there's almost no donuts left. And I'll tell you who the culprit is Sky Mosley went in there and ate all the damn donuts.
Wasn't me, man. That's Greg Bedell that does that. I could rat him out on that one. That's Bedell.
I got you good on that one, didn't I, Sky?
Close. That was close. They are about the best, though.
I got one of them cinnamon rolls. Go on. You know, that's a big rascal there. That's all I got to say. It's going to take me a couple cups of coffee to go through that thing. And this is the one last humorous thing I want to tell you guys. Yesterday I get a call from a new customer. It's a doctor.
Oh, good.
And I said, oh, guys, how you doing? They need something done. And I said, you know what? I've been looking for a gastroenterologist to do work for. And he says, guess what? I'm a GI.
Well, good deal.
How about that?
So now I have almost no medical practices and techniques that I have not got a customer for. And the best part about that is, Scott, I write the prescription.
Well, that turnabout is fair.
And I told him today, I said, the only difference, when I write your prescription, you're not going to a drugstore, you're going to go to Home Depot.
Take only as directed. Yeah.
Very good.
Oh, man. Okay. Now, do you know what the SDA is? What's being called the SDA?
The SDA?
Yes, sir.
No, what is it?
Social Democrats of America.
Oh, they've been around for a while, haven't they?
Not in the form they are now.
Mm.
No, we're talking about Mondami.
Oh, the new breed. Okay.
That's all right. And this new term, they're calling it the SDA now, according to NTD News, and they're well-founded when they're doing that. They said now 1 out of 25 Americans are under the rule of the SDA. And the reason how they got that statistic is that's New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. That's a lot of people.
I believe that.
40, 50 million people amongst those three cities.
Yeah.
And they are really, they are pouncing on all cities, the Social Democrats, with Zoran Mondami, he's the new Barack Obama, guys. You watch. He's the new Barack Obama. That's exactly what they're looking for. So this is a very scary scenario, but it's a reality in practice right now. And, of course, those three locations have got enough people almost to sway any damn election, don't they?
They're going to be a problem. And let me read you, quote, unquote, this is from their website. I wanted to read you the first part, but it's scaled away. Let me see if I can get it to refresh. Says, nope, it automatically goes to their video. The Democratic Socialists of America is the largest socialist organization in the United States with over 100,000 members and chapters in all 50 states. We believe that working people should run both the economy and society democratically to meet human needs, not to make profits for a few. Learn more about democratic socialism.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to be a problem.
It's not going to be. It already is, and it really sneaked in. And Mondami was just the one to actually identify, put the name on it, and give it actual boundaries. You know what I'm talking about? A clear vision for everybody to look at. And what we got to watch out for is now the big generational problem, and it's Generation Alpha. That's, we're beyond Generation X, Y, and Z. We are now Generation Alpha, who is the pandemic generation. who have no sense of morality, reality, perspective on government judgment, nor are they ever going to be educated on it. We're going to have us a big gap in that 20-year generation gap, I do believe.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Red Top, what has occurred in the last generation or two is, to be honest, the United States has catered to and cowed down to, I mean, look, I understand I'm on the right, but to billionaires and corporations, and we have allowed them to do whatever they can for profit. I'm not against profit in any fashion, but we've let America and young Americans take a beating that was unnecessary for profits, and now we've opened the doors up to people like Mandami and the Democrat Socialists of America to bang that drum. Their answer is terrible. It's going to lead to a absolute disaster. But the older generations have let this happen, and here we are on the doorstep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a hell of a job to put a check on it.
I agree.
And we're lucky we got Donald Trump in there now. I don't know what's going to happen after Donald Trump, but sure, I'm very encouraged with J.D. Vance's performance. Has been excellent.
Yeah, you're right.
And
We
he's
got to
a
go,
tough
man.
Guy. Roll Tide, go Trump.
Thank you,
Y'all
Red
have a
Top.
great day.
We'll be back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politician.
Welcome back in, everybody. Third half of the show already. Goodness gracious. One little trip to the dentist, and the show is mostly over. Let's get out to your phone calls again before I move on to a little bit different topic, but somebody wants to go back to the Montgomery situation. Flower Child, welcome to the program. Happy Tuesday to you.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know why somebody doesn't do a Spencer Pratt campaign against Mayor Reed with all the social media and the funny little things, like, can you picture somebody sitting on the interstate got rear-ended and like that 60-minute clock, that's on 60 minutes, tick, 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 tick. 3 hours later, the policemen show up, celebratory gunshot in the 911 switchboard lighting up, and then take shots of Spencer Reed's plane taking off, I mean.
And you know what would happen, Flower Child?
What?
The same thing that happened to Spencer Pratt.
Well, I'm hoping that you would get a better turnout. You know what I'm saying? When people
maybe generate some interest.
Instead of this apathy thing, when they say, "Oh, that could happen to me," do I want to do that? And then who was it that kind of got the crime down? Wasn't it the Sheriff Cunningham?
Yes,
and
he's been a real star.
Have them coming in on like a white knight, type thing, and then have Reed coming in on a mule.
I think there's a chance. I was saying something to Sky during the break about what is going to happen to some of these cities, and the state may eventually have to come in and say we're just not going to do this anymore. I mean, that's what Donald Trump had to do in Washington D.C. and because I've just about convinced myself, Flower Child, that there are people who are fine with our cities being like third world countries. There's just no other way around it. They seem to be content with that situation.
Yeah, and because you know what? I mean, how many black SUVs follow Reed around? Like 5, 10, something like that. I don't know. It's an outrageous number.
He has an entourage. He has an entourage.
Yeah.
Of bodyguards.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Tommy Tuberville, when he gets in, that he'll do something about either doging or cleaning up, the crime, whatever it is, to investigate all these.
It's going to be interesting to watch because Reed and company, they will know Tuberville's coming, and he has made some pretty bold statements about what he intends to do about crime in the capital city and the situation.
Yes.
Well, and I'm pretty sure that the Montgomery powers that be, just like the powers that be of Birmingham and other blue dots, will do everything in their power and just take that as much as, take it how you will, to help Doug Jones become governor. We should not think that is beyond possibility.
Don't sleep on Doug Jones. Huh?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. You will probably see unbelievable turnout in the urban areas. Now, I didn't say people went to vote.
I heard what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mail-in ballots.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of votes cast. How's that?
Yeah.
What's the next topic? That's out of curiosity.
Just
that forward gear on Flower Child. Now you don't hear that very often.
Yeah. It was going to be a little monologue on that whole idea of one of the reasons we have this rise of socialism is because we have done so much to sell out the future of regular Americans by allowing things like NAFTA and these agreements that send so many people's jobs overseas. We've made so many things unaffordable while we pretended like we were trying to bring energy costs down. Power bills are up, and inflation is out the roof. We have a housing crisis. No duh, when you let in 10, 15, 20 million people come into the country illegally, of course you're going to have limited places to live.
Resources dwindle.
Salaries go down because you've got an unlimited workforce. And then now we're like, wow, little Johnny's a socialist. Well, no wonder he wants to burn the place down.
Did you see the Federal Reserve report on affordability?
Yeah, was it the Dallas, the Federal Reserve in Dallas said that illegal immigration during the Biden administration had caused housing prices to go up?
I didn't know it was one specific Federal Reserve, but anyway, 30%, the price of homes went up 30% because of illegal immigration, and rent went up 20% because of illegal. Because, what do we learn in economics? Supply and demand.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that's just astonishing.
But my diversity, wait.
I know I missed this, but did you talk about, and I don't want to change the subject, I just want to know if you talked about that Georgia's not going to tackle the redistricting?
I saw that, was it last week or the week before, when the legislature told the governor, hey, it doesn't matter if you call a special session for redistricting, we're not going to change anything.
The Republican.
Yeah, my argument was going to be that the Georgia Republicans are very similar to the Alabama Republicans in that a bunch of the Republicans are really Democrats.
Sounds like.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean,
the ones from North Alabama are Democrats for sure.
Yeah, it's a mess. I saw that about Georgia, but I didn't know if people would really get very fired up about it other than, well, yeah, I guess they have the same problems we do. I mean, look what we did here when we drug our feet and drug our feet and drug our feet until finally they gave it to us on a silver platter, and then we still only took half the platter.
Still only half committed.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I appreciate you and Sky so very, very much. It's just like voice of reason instead of but crazy. And then the problem with the kids is between their parents and then how they're raised and the teachers or what they're teaching today.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I know you got other people. Bye.
No, you're great.
Thanks,
Firechild.
Firechild.
I appreciate it. So, and people, I really hope people slow down and listen to what I'm trying to say. And maybe I'm not doing a very good job of communicating it. But even when I look out at the world, okay, and I'm like, why do you have to make everything so hard? Cars are terribly expensive. Why are cars terribly expensive, Sky? Because the federal government came in and said, no, you got to have this, and you got to have this, and you got to have this, and then you just got to get this kind of gas mileage. You got to have this safety feature and that safety feature. And you got to have this camera, and you got to have this remote turn-off switch, and you got to have this. So all these things just make it cost more and more and more and more. You can't. I want to just go out and buy a Volkswagen Bug. And I want to roll up and down the windows. I want to slide my seat back. I want to decide whether or not I'm going to get an aftermarket weird, jerry-rigged, I don't know if you can say that or not, jerry-rigged air conditioner, because somebody's going to call you don't want an air conditioner? Can I just get a car that'll get me to work that I could actually work on? No, you can't have that. You must have all this. But what if I don't care if I die? No, we are going to keep you safe at every turn. Yeah, but your safe version is it's made out of aluminum foil, and as soon as I run it into a blade of grass, it's a $5,000 repair bill. Oh, my air conditioner will only last 7 or 8 years. Why is that? Because the federal government said we're going to make it so efficient, so thin, everything in it is so thin that it is going to leak like crazy in 7 or 8 years, so you owe us thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars again. Oh, we don't care about inflation. You need inflation. We can't have a good economy without inflation. So everything costs more and more and more. Hey, I need to get a better job. Well, there's you can't. Why can't you? Well, because I can hire all these folks that came from another country. That's why. Yeah, but I started on the bottom rung. There's no bottom rung. We've got all these extra people. Well, I need to find an apartment. Well, there's no apartments. Well, what about that one? Yeah, it's $2,000 a month for a one bedroom. Yeah, we might get you a deal. We'll give you the first year. You're going to have to sign for 3 years. We'll give you the first year for $1,600 a month. You're like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? So it's no wonder that people are leaning towards these socialist ideas, because they look out there and say everything is stacked against me. They're allowing a Mandami to go out and say, they're against you. They're not going to give you a chance. We must, you deserve it. And how do I make an argument against it? because we indeed have done all these things. Gas is through the roof. Somebody says, "Well, I just want to drive to work." How much are people spending just paying to drive to work? Have y'all been out to eat lately?
Yes.
Go to the local Mexican restaurant. Remember when you're like, "Hey, we need to go to the Mexican restaurant. It's less expensive."
Cheap. Yeah.
And you're like,
Good cheap
"Holy crud." I don't know how people are making it. And then we wonder, the older generation wonders, well, I don't understand why these young people are leaning towards socialism. Number one, Red Top is right. They don't understand. They don't know what socialism is going to get them. They're not really for socialism. They're for the promise of you might have a chance. Not all of them are lazy. Not all of them want something for free. They just want a shot. And Mondami's going to promise them a shot in order to get their revolution in place. But what are we doing? Nothing. And here's the question that sometimes somebody's going to have to answer. How much time do we have, Scott? Do I have a minute?
We're on top of break, but go ahead.
Just a second.
You're on a roll.
Look at these other countries that are cesspools, many of them. Look at Central and South America. What happened in those places was all the land, the ability to start from scratch was all given to the gentry, okay? Hundreds of years ago. And the same families owned everything, and all the quote-unquote poor people have nothing, okay? In America, there was way more land than you had people. We were giving away land, the land rush and all that stuff. We were giving people, hey, here's land. You can start a farm. You may not have anything else, but you can build a little cabin. You can have a little farm. You can start from scratch. You may live there your whole life. Here's your shot. What does a young person have today? They can't, nobody will give them land.
Debt.
You got debt. You have all this stuff. Bill Gates owns hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of acres. Try to buy some land in Alabama. You're just an 18-year-old guy. You love your girlfriend. You get married. Maybe she's 18. You're starting out with nothing. You're young. And you say, look, I just want 20 acres. 20 acres and a mule. I don't want to be in finance. Just 20 acres and a mule. It's not there. Now, there is a guy that owns 40,000 acres of trees.
And pays very little property.
And his family's owned it for 200 years. And if Scott ever says, hey, look, maybe we ought to have a year of Jubilee or something. Oh, my gosh, you're against private property, Scott. I tell you what I'm against more than I'm against private property. I'm against the socialist revolution. I'm against what we're going to get when all this blows up. And guess what?
What?
Bill Gates and his gajillion thousand million acres, when the revolution comes, he might still be in charge because he's probably helping foment it. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying allegedly. But there's also a chance that a bunch of people that are like, holding on, I'm holding on. I've owned this building downtown for 150 years. Guess what? You're not keeping it because the revolutionaries are going to take it.
Every time.
And you'll be lucky if you're still alive at the end. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. Let's see if I can get this on. There we go. Welcome back in. I don't mean to be negative, and what I'm trying to warn people about is we have to be very careful about what we say when we're responding to all this socialism and stuff. Are there crazy people? Absolutely there are. But it's similar to the argument when it comes to healthcare. We've allowed healthcare to get so out of control. The prices are so out of control. And we did that through quote unquote government help. The government was supposed to make it cheaper. The government was supposed to, we're going to give you this and we're going to give you that and we're going to give you this. And they just keep running the price up and up and up because of the government involvement. And then as the involvement and the price goes up and up and up, there's another new politician saying, hey, it's too expensive. I'll make it better. Then they come along, and then it goes up and up and up because every time the government's going to fix something, they make it worse. Can we agree on that? Sky, do you think people can agree? The people who listen to this program, can we agree? Can we even figure out something that the government actually fixed? I'm talking about societal. Is there a problem that they came in and solved?
I can't think of any right off the bat. But they never do. That's the lesson of history and government. And for some reason, whenever there's a problem, the first thing you hear people say is, why isn't the government doing something about it?
Now, can they come in and pave a road? We're not talking about that. Those are tangible things. But something that is societal, social. We're going to fix, that has the interaction of human beings and the market and something a little more complicated than fixing that road, that pothole right there.
No, time after time after time, it winds up loaded bigger and worse.
Yes, that's what they did to healthcare.
That's what
we didn't have government health care, and the government came in and said, you know what, it's really not fair. There's some poor people who can't afford, can't get health care, so we're going to pay for it for them. And everybody, yay, we're so good. Yeah. Yay, we're so good. And then all of a sudden, people are like, wait a minute. People are getting a service they're not really paying for. Oh, my goodness, the prices seem to be going up. And then I know people don't want to hear this, but healthcare professionals, doctors, whatever, are like every other human being. And they're like, wait a minute, there's a pile of money right there.
Uh-huh.
And if this person has to come to me a couple more times, then I'll make a little bit more money. But did they need to come 3 times? Well, probably. So did they need to only come 2 times? Maybe they came 4 times. But we have these special classes too, Sky. Special groups of people that you can never question their motives, right? Doctors are kind of that way. They would never, ever do something that would just bring more money to the practice that maybe wasn't necessary. They wouldn't do that because doctors won't do that. Teachers another good example. Teachers are always working unbelievably hard. There's not one in the whole country that's not really getting after it every single day. I mean, that's another thing. You can't say anything bad about them. Politicians are all criminals, every single one of them. No matter, there's not even one good one. But so there's a little bit of, back and forth. My argument is that we're all human beings and the government should get out of everything. But here's a great example.
Amen.
Great example. We went from healthcare. Can we agree that we can't recall the government fixing a complicated problem? Right? Okay. We agree with that.
I can agree to that, yes.
So here's the article at 1819 News. Britt Tuberville split on housing affordability legislation. Jeff Poor's got this article out there. The legislation, dubbed the 21st Century Road to Housing Act, passed the Senate 85-5. Tommy Tuberville was one of the 5 that voted no. He, Rick Scott, Ron Johnson, Rand Paul, and Mike Lee. Pretty good list of people saying no.
Group. Okay.
Katie Britt voted for it. The bipartisan effort was led by Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina, which we already know South Carolina just gave us Lindsey Graham again. You know who he co-sponsored it with? Who he worked on this with?
I'm scared to find out.
You should
who
be.
Is it?
Elizabeth Warren.
There it is. That's that bipartisanship in action right there.
Along with U.S. Representative French Hill from Arkansas and
Here it comes.
Maxine Waters.
Waters. Oh, man. Okay. Well.
So, no, let's look at step 2. If I told you anything was co-sponsored in the Senate, led by Elizabeth Warren, and in the House, Maxine Waters, are you telling me that if I was in Congress, you would say, Representative Beason, Senator Beason, I want you to vote for that, sight unseen? Or are you going to pull the blind squirrel thing, aren't you? Well, this one might be good. This one might be good.
No.
This is a bill that is supposed to make housing more affordable.
I've heard this tune before, by the way.
Which means the federal government is going to involve themselves
again
with finances, because Tim Scott is the banking committee chair. Does that sound, do y'all, man, can you think of anything that would, you know what I was thinking, Sky? I was thinking that I wanted things to be more affordable, okay?
Right.
And the first thing I thought was, let me see if I can get a banker involved.
That'll make it more.
Because he won't be.
Sure.
Bankers don't want to make any money. Bankers, the last banker I knew, he stopped by my house and just gave me money and said, no paying it back, no interest. I'm here to do nothing but help you, Scott.
Well, that's what bankers do. They don't charge interest. Haven't you heard?
There's no such thing as interest.
Yeah. Not how they make
so the
their living.
bankers are there. It's I can't believe. But people in Alabama will be defensive because they think I'm attacking Katie Britt. I'm not attacking Katie Britt. I'm attacking the U.S. House and Senate. They know that people are upset about housing. So what are they going to do? They're going to fix it by putting some bureaucracy on top of it.
We just did this 20 years ago, the Community Reinvestment Act. It caused the housing bubble and destroyed the economy.
Just
20 years ago.
I just can't.
It sounded exactly the same.
And here we are.
We're going to help people buy houses. Yeah.
But you know what they're not going to do?
What?
Run millions of illegal aliens out of the country and free up houses.
We
can't do that. 85 members of the U.S. Senate. We can't do that. We can't pass the SAVE Act. We can't do that. But we're gonna look. We care about you. We're gonna let them stay. And we're gonna spend a whole bunch of money to make housing affordable, and a bunch of our friends who give money to our campaigns are gonna make out like bandits. And you know what they do? They're gonna do these. They're gonna do these affordable apartment complexes. You know a few years ago they had this program where if you could get one of the deals, your interest rate on the apartment complex was almost nothing. Now, you and I aren't going to get that deal, right?
Right, but I still know how it turned out. You can get this house, this $200,000 house, for virtually no down payment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they suckered that out, and the rest is history.
Well, then somebody gets to own it. We'll be back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
We are back, everybody. What a day! Goodness gracious. The just asking people, not angry about anything. I just, when I see these things like the federal government passing legislation on housing affordability, I just think, wow, that's not going to work. Now, is it going to help somebody? Probably. There'll be somebody. But let me ask a question. Not of you really, Sky, but of anybody. Do you want housing to be more affordable? And everybody will say yes. And then if I said, okay, well, so do you want somebody to come in and build some affordable housing right down the road from you?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Where?
Just right down the road. Just
No,
right at the end of your street. Some affordable.
Not in my backyard.
Some affordable housing. Because affordable housing, everybody's like, hey, I'm for this housing affordability. What does everybody think when the government gets involved on making things more affordable? You think it's going to make it better? No, I was trying to explain. Somebody will get to build some apartments at almost no interest. No, I don't think that's going to be me. I don't think it's going to be you. But somebody's going to. So a bunch of money will be made promising people affordable housing. What we're probably doing is about to build housing for illegal aliens. I mean,
well, they've got to live somewhere.
Technically, isn't that what we're going to doing? If they're causing a housing shortage and you have to build more affordable housing, you're building that to accommodate. They may not even live in the units. But do we need more apartments?
Yes.
Yeah,
more people,
apparently.
More resources. Got to live somewhere.
So people.
Well, I guess they can flood out into the street.
People are
going
to
to
make money.
too.
But we're not going to do the things that help people to actually be able to afford it. Like, get rid of the illegal aliens, like energy independence, and have gas prices really come down. We're not going to have deflation. Even the president would die if everything started costing less. But deflation actually helps normal people. Right. Inflation helps bankers make a bunch of money.
God, a little bit of inflation, 2.25% is good for the economy.
That's what they always say.
Where have you been? Don't you know that?
Well, because I need the future value of the dollar to be up more to cover all my. Oh my gosh, Sky, are we back?
If y'all would just listen to me. Yes, we are, and I'm glad you finally got there. It took all morning, but here we are. If you would just cut off the faucet of the Federal Reserve, everything Charles I talked about incentivizing crime, so blue cities can get more money from the federal government.
Right.
Cut it off at the source. You end the Fed, and a lot of this money and incentive and graft, corruption, all just goes. The money goes.
Well, then people talk about usury and interest and what would you do if, I mean, look, I know it's hard for us to even imagine a country or an economy that didn't have quote unquote lending, but I don't think the system, this fiat money, this fake money where you have to have, everything's got to cost more and more and more so that they can reshuffle your money through the system so that they end up making more money. I don't know how that is good for the regular person. Just like when the Trump administration says, hey, we're not worried about that. Look how good the stock market's doing. I don't care.
That's not for you. No.
When I see that person, when I go pump gas, okay, and I see the person beside me start pumping gas before at the same time I start, and then they stop, and I look at mine and I'm like, I only have 10 gallons. I only have 5 gallons. And I know that they're not filling up their car because gas is so expensive. They're getting a half a tank. They're getting enough to go to work a couple of different times. They're just getting by. They don't care about the stock market. They don't care if it's at all-time highs because
that's not for them.
It makes no difference.
No.
And when it all comes crashing down, if it does, I don't know how long we can keep this fake thing going, but a bunch of people who said, I don't care what happens to that person, my 401k's riding high, my pension system's riding high. If it ever corrects down to something that's anywhere close to what these companies are actually valued at.
Actual value? Oh, man, look out.
It is, everybody will be worried about how much gas costs. except for the super duper elite. And you know who else won't? The people who work for government, because their jobs aren't going anywhere. You could have whole sectors of the economy collapse, but the people who work in government, even the bureaucrats, are still going to be there because they got to make sure that housing's affordable. That's
a problem we need to get to. Can I just briefly, while we have a minute and a half, do a little information tutorial that explains it in real terms.
Okay.
In 1958, the price of gold was $35.
Okay.
You could go out with that $20 gold piece,
and
you go out and buy yourself, which is 1 ounce of gold.
Okay.
Go out and buy yourself a couple, three really nice men's suits.
Okay.
All right. What can you do with $20 today as far as outfitting your wardrobe with $20?
You go to Walmart.
You might get a handkerchief to stick in your.
Oh, you mean of nice clothes?
Yeah, you could buy 2 or 3 nice suits
what
for that $20 gold
They
piece.
will sell you that real thin polyester bag that you carry the suit out in. That's all you can buy at that store.
Okay, all right. 1958, $20 gold piece, a couple of men's nice suits. What's the price of gold today? About $4,500. Okay, now compare that $20 in 1958, that $20 gold piece.
Yeah.
It'll buy 3 really nice men's suits.
Yeah.
But your $20 ain't worth crap. Okay, where did our wealth go? How do you explain that? It's all been sucked up. The dollar has lost 98% of its value since the Federal Reserve was created.
Yeah.
Where did our wealth go? It's been stolen.
It's in the hands of a very few.
And that's why there's no opportunity. That's why people don't have anywhere to go, why rent is outrageous.
Right.
Because our wealth has been robbed from us.
Right.
And that's my speech. Thanks for listening. One day, people are going to get wise to this Federal Reserve racket. And maybe, just maybe, we'll have a chance at that point.
If you're wanting to know what was going to start World War III, take on the bankers. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
I'm not suicidal, Scott.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
All right, let's back. We're back. Let's get out to your phone calls. Oh, I got to turn this one off. Let's go to Clark. Clark, welcome to the program.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Clark, how are you?
I'm all good. You remember in the movie Cool Hand Luke?
One of my favorites.
The captain, i.e. the warden,
Strother Martin,
telling Luke how much the chains were going to help him.
Yeah.
And Luke said, I wish you quit being so good to me, boss.
Hey, that's the truth.
So, all right, let's see. College tuition. How much it cost to go to college when you went, Scott? How much was a quarter or a semester?
Oh, God. let's see, I don't know, $1,100, something like that, $800.
All right, I was a little bit before you, and I was at Auburn.
Yeah.
Undergrad was less than $400 a quarter. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before I got out of vet school, I was paying close to $800. I thought that was ridiculous.
Right.
Per quarter.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, oh gosh, what? $20,000 a semester, something like that.
It's expensive.
That's because they gave tuition assistance and grants and federal loans.
Yeah, let me do it like they say on this one. They needed to make college more affordable, just like they're going to make housing affordable.
They made it more affordable, and my son's fiance has $200,000 in student loan debt upon graduation from vet school. Housing. Look at how much more affordable they've made the housing. Health care. Wow, they did a great job with that. Food. You think the federal government is probably, through the various programs, the number one payer for food in America? You think that competition drives the cost of what we pay up, Scott?
I would say so, yes, sir.
Yeah, so there is one problem that the government has ever solved.
What?
Cochleomia hominini vorax. That's the New World screwworm. We'd eradicated that, Scott, in the 1950s, roughly somewhere in there.
Okay.
Through the sterile male release technique, we had completely eradicated the New World screwworm. Now, apparently during the Biden administration, they figured out what a mistake that was.
Yeah.
And we came up with open border policies so we could have screwworms back in the United States. Oh, lucky us. So there that is.
Do screwworms, do they go after cattle?
That's where the most economic. It's anything warm-blooded. If you're warm-blooded and you got a wound, the screwworm will lay an egg or eggs at the fresh margin. Those things hatch within like an hour and go to work. Now, the big difference between those and the regular domestica, I don't know, Mustelid domestica, the regular house flies and the blowflies, et cetera,
Mm-hmm.
they're supposed to be more like dead tissue and not live.
Okay.
The screwworm, boy, they just go after live tissue, and they'll make, they don't clean your wound up. They make your wound massive. And so, yeah, if your cattle get a scratch, all of a sudden they've got these huge maggoty wounds.
What's for lunch?
But dog, person,
spaghetti,
rabbit, they don't care.
Really?
So anyway, there's that. Have you been looking at what Tulsi Gabbard has released on Anthony Fauci?
I have not. What's she doing?
Oh, wow. On her way out the door, if he doesn't go to prison, I quit. I quit. Everything anybody needs at the DOJ to lock him up for the rest of his life is right there. Start looking at it. We ain't got time right now to go over it. But that little rat needs to be in a cage.
With a screwworm.
Why don't we just save money with a screwworm? Yeah. Just save money and do a little execution. Wouldn't an execution be okay?
I would be tickled, and I think the guillotine is more efficient, but the axe has a more personal touch.
Oh, I don't know. Lethal injection comes to mind.
Why are y'all against hanging? I'm always advocating for hanging. I'm not getting any momentum.
I'm down with that, but in this case, lethal injection is more poetic.
For Fauci. Yeah, I got you.
Scott.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
I heard that Michelle Obama had decided she was not going to have a defamation suit against Josh Hogan.
Oh, really? Why?
She said she was going to be the bigger man.
Zing! And that's our show.
We're out. See y'all.
Man,
Is that, are we
yeah,
done?
several listeners. Well, we got about 20 seconds.
Okay.
Several listeners said your teeth sound really clean today.
They're very squeaky. Listen,
Yeah,
very
great.
squeaky.
That's a productive trip.
Hey, y'all be safe in the river region. If you have a wreck, nobody's coming to help anyway.
That's right.
That's what we learned this morning. Y'all be good. Be safe. See y'all.